We need to get into Romero before we get too much off the beaten path. Let me pull up his filmography because we're gonna go in order. Um,
Do you need me to pull it up on IMDb?
no, just pull it. I'm not gonna put it on the screen. Let's
Okay.
just have a list.
Well, we're gonna start with Night of the Living Dead. We already know what the first one is.
Well, we're gonna go in. Yeah, we're gonna go in chronological and just kind of go. So, remember earlier when I was talking about directors not sort of necessarily being the be all end all of a classic film, and it's kind of lightning in a bottle. That's kind of how I feel about Night of the Living Dead, at least at the first part of his career. Night of the Living Dead is a great flick, and when you kind of see the few films that came after it, it just really convinces me that it was kind of a fluke. you know, it was a cool idea, and he had a lot of help from a lot of other people that made such a groundbreaking thing. But I mean, we've talked about Night of the Living Dead '68 a lot. It's a great flick. Nobody had done anything quite like that at the time. It was very meat and potatoes. We did the watch along recently, and you know, it's got somewhat of an unconventional feel in the filmmaking, but it works. Like I said, they're in the house, and you could tell they filmed in the house. It's not like a set, so all the shots are real tight. It's all a lot of close-ups, a lot of camera tilt, not full-blown Dutch angle shit, but like just a lot of like invasive close-ups. I guess it kind of works if you're in, it makes you kind of feel like you're in the house, claustrophobic. Too, the only wide shots I think in the whole damn movie are like whenever you look outside and they show the zombies on the grass and stuff like that. But it works. But I want to kind of take this discussion by era. So I'm kind of gonna kind of lump in the first few movies together in this little mini discussion. George Romero kind of established his style in the first movie, but I don't know, man. I don't, because his style in the next few flicks between There's Always Vanilla, Season of the Witch, and The Crazies, it seems different but the same. I like he was trying to be more ambitious, and his editing, fuck my life, his editing was shit, dude. It was terrible.
Are we talking about The Affair now, or There's Always Vanilla?
Or fucking AK Hungry Wives, horny wives. Okay, so we'll talk about it one on one. We've already spoke on Night of the Living Dead. It's a great flick. We're not,
masterpiece.
Okay, It's Always Vanilla. I guess billed as a romantic comedy. I don't know where they're getting romantic comedy out of this. It's not a horror movie, but it's not a romantic comedy either. I don't know. There's nothing funny. I wasn't laughing. Were you?
No, it was fucking awful.
This movie, I felt offended. I felt offended at this movie. First of all, we've been slaving watching, getting caught up on every Romero movie over the last few weeks. And I procrastinated a few titles. I kept pushing them off to where I like cornered myself into like having to watch like 3 or 4 of his worst fucking movies all in a row, and I just been dreading it. Last night I had plenty of time to get these watched, but I was up against the wall last night. Like, God, I still have to watch Season of the Witch and Vanilla, and I watched Season of the Witch just because I knew Vanilla was going to be the fucking worst, and I watched Season of the Witch last night. And I'm like, I can't do another one of these. So I had to watch True Lies to cleanse the palate, and then I went to bed. Because these early Romero films will put you to fucking sleep. They will put you to sleep.
Let's go.
I'm mad. I'm mad at all the early Romero films.
We're sticking on Vanilla now.
Scorched Earth. Vanilla sucks. Vanilla has no direction. It's about a fucking guy that I guess was like in the military, and now he's getting by doing whatever the fuck. He's like fucking whoring chicks out. He's playing guitar. He's like a session guy. I guess he's working for some like commercial fucking production company, and he's like and then he meets some fucking slut that's acting in the commercial. I don't fucking know. I literally was asking myself multiple times while watching this, what the fuck is going on? His dad comes to visit, but then his dad like gets a whore with him. He's like, oh man, they're getting prostitutes. And then his dad, I guess, kind of like wants him to come home and be a part of the family business. I don't know. He fucking gets with this girl that was in this
masterpiece.
he gets with the girl that's in the commercial, and they're having a fling, and he knocks her up, and there's this whole fucking hoopla about her keeping the baby or not, and then her getting this fucking like underground abortion. And bottom line is, she ends up moving on. Great. Time passes. She gets remarried. I guess she has the baby. The fucking lead guy ends up going back home. He's like sleeping in his fucking parents' tree. I guess he ends up going back home, I guess. And then he sends her like a package at the end. I don't know if that was like a fucking olive branch. I don't know what was going on. This movie fucking blow. And the editing is so fucking weird. First,
Editing's horrible.
They go from like almost like a what's it called? Almost like a documentarian style where the guy's talking to the camera, talking about stuff, and then it cuts to like real time, and then there'll be like these quick flashes of like the back of someone's head. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it just seems like a student art film.
It's definitely student made. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude. And then I just don't know what's going on. And I'm just piecing together little plot shit I could kind of catch. But like, it was like, guys, anybody in the chat, fill me in if we're missing something with this movie. What was the point?
Of course, Judy's back in it from Night of the Living Dead, and she looks good, but that's about it.
Oh yeah, she was. Yeah, what was her fucking role? She was like in the hospital. She could get beat up by her husband. What happened? I forget, dude. I'm already fucking out of it. Who was she? I was seeing faces.
Lynn. Yeah.
These faces were coming and going, and it's like at the beginning you have like this. It's got a weird style. All the credits are front loaded. There's no credits at the end of the movie, and the credits are front loaded. And the way the credits are designed, I don't know if that was like a conscious decision where it's like the main roles will be played by, the way they're worded are odd, and the primary roles will be played by, and the movie starts out and you're like getting introduced to this totally different guy. This guy that was like trying to get busy with the actress, and you're kind of confused, like who's the main role. Then we find out it's the guy, the guitar player. I don't know. This movie's shit. I don't know why. I guess I read after the fact that George Romero didn't like this movie either, and he admitted it was his worst movie. I'm like, I still don't forgive you. I don't forgive just because you realize you made a bad movie. He's like, I blame. What
he didn't have it. He didn't have any funding for it. It was basically just thrown together. These three movies were thrown together so he could actually.
Well, this movie he didn't write. He wrote he wrote Witch, he wrote Crazies, he wrote Night, but this movie he didn't write. But he edited it. He's not getting off the hook there.
Yeah, his
and so I just don't know. He was. I read a quote where he said he thinks where the movie went wrong, and I don't understand what the quote means. I think it's just a fucking dodge.
Don't give him a pass. Let's move on. This movie stinks.
No. He said, I think the reason why that movie failed was the capitalism, like capitalization. Like what? Like what does this even mean?
He didn't say that, did he?
Yeah, capitalization. Are you talking like what is that? It's supposed to be something to do with themes? I don't know what's going on, but clearly. He already kind of said in the past that, Night of the Living Dead was more or less like a mindless monster movie. It's not really like, is there really like any subtext there? I don't really know. He could maybe say there was, but didn't he already say it was just kind of like, hey, let's make a fun zombie movie? I don't know. This movie, I feel like we got like the real Romero where he's trying to say something socially with every movie. Kinda. This one's kind of touching on a little bit with like, you got like, battered wives in this too, the abortion thing. I don't know. It's a fucking mess. Moving on to Season of the Witch, he's honing in on it a little better. There's clearly an overtone. This movie is kind of like a telling about harkening back to the 50s nuclear family wives, right? Don't get me wrong, this movie sucks too. But
See, I don't hate this movie.
I was being kind and I gave this one a 4 out of 10. Oh, 4 out of 10. I should say it's not good, but hey, spoiler alert. Fucking Vanilla is a fucking 1 out of 10, dude. Bad. But
Vanilla's shit. Yeah.
I could actually. I was watching Season of the Witch. I didn't enjoy my time with it, but at least it had a cohesive theme going on. It wasn't lost on me what he was trying to like tackle. But there was still plenty of. The editing is still trash. His editing still is not good. And maybe it's gotten a little better, but there were still points in Season of the Witch where I was like, I had to catch myself like, wait, what's going on? It's weird.
I don't know. I actually enjoyed. I thought the main actress Joan was actually pretty solid in this one.
N-
It's not great. It's not a great film, but I think
It's
it's
a
entertaining for what it is.
it's a little sleazy too.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a little like, she's a horny housewife.
Who wants to delve into witchcraft? So I mean,
Yeah, and the witchcraft, for all I know, could just be surface level
it's
nonsense.
yeah,
It's all
it is
because she's like a
hallucinations and all that shit. Yeah,
she's just a horny housewife that feels like she's not respected and she's not getting any, and she's jealous of her younger daughter. She's listening to her getting laid and she wants to touch herself, but this is like 1950s type era shit like that. Oh, she can't, she feels bad for even thinking thoughts. She was telling her friend that, like, oh, I feel like immoral and bad for even having thoughts of like sex or anybody else. But she's thinking about like the dude that's fucking her daughter. It's kind of got some weird sleaze. She ends up fucking that guy um
numerous times. Yeah,
numerous times. But it's still vanilla, and this movie, like I said, it's not as bad as vanilla with the editing, but it's still
I
bad.
I think it's shot better. I think the whole tone of this movie is a lot better.
It's got more
Um,
direction. It's
more
focused on
enjoyable, I think.
what it wants to be. But like in both movies, there's literally some weird ass cuts where it from like scene to scene where it's almost like you're missing. You should have had something else in between these. And like it's like an abrupt cut into like another scene a little
Yeah.
late too. It's just there's some weird shit. And it's a little bit refined. It's more refined version of what he was trying to do with Vanilla. With there's still some of that art school shit going on, man. Like these weird like Pazuzu flashes.
It's a fever dream. It's the 70s. I mean, it's the way it was. So yeah.
I you know I still didn't like this flick, but I will say, out to your point, even he's got good actors.
Yeah.
The problems with the flicks are not like, it's you would think with these like low budget flicks he'd have like the worst. No, it's like all the actors are good, and the actors aren't bad in Vanilla, to be honest with you. It's not like the actors' problems necessarily. It's just I don't know. It's everything else under the sun, but I don't know. What do you rate which exactly? Or you don't have to give us a hard ranking, but like, so just kind of give me, you liked it. It's kind of mid, like, how do you feel? Shit.
Mid. Mid. I've always kind of liked the sleazy elements of this movie. I do like the main actress. I thought she did a good job. And I mean, it's not like a scary movie or anything like that, but I mean, definitely something I do go back to, just because I don't know. There's something, the whole tone of this movie. I love witch movies in general. I know she's not like a real witch or anything like that, but I would say this is a better Romero. There's always Vanilla's dog shit. I'm with you on that. This one, I I do have a soft spot for this one though.
No, it's definitely better. I mean, like, without giving actual ratings, I'm telling you, like, Vanilla is as bad. I think it's unwatchable.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
I
gonna
had,
back that.
I had to force myself through that movie. It was hard, dude. And I think Season of the Witch, it gets points for having sticking to the plot. It's like it's not going. The editing is still problematic. Like you catch. I was catching myself asking a couple of questions, like, wait, what happened to that? What's going on? But overall, the theme was staying consistent. Like, I got it. I could kind of fill in the blanks myself. I think it still didn't quite cut the mustard. It's kind of in that mid area, but like, yeah, I can't say it's a
It's not
pass for me.
it's not a masterpiece, but I still I enjoy it for what it is. That's just me.
Now, it'll be interesting how you fare with. Well, really quick, this is Vanilla was one thing. He was going full theme on this one. Like, he had something. He made like feminist movies. He was making a
Yeah.
couple of feminist movies back to back, and it's kind of interesting. A guy like George Romero making a feminist movie that, yeah, you'd
Well,
have to tell
he
me.
was a liberal hippie. I mean, pretty much.
Um, it's just I just didn't think the source material was that interesting to begin with. At least it had some direction. I
Not at
just
this
didn't.
time. I mean, back then it might have been interesting, but nowadays, no.
There's literally nothing in Vanilla. There's nothing. But
No.
even in the Season of the Witch, at least they're kind of following characters and story. But in of itself, I don't think it's interesting. It just wasn't very. Moving on, we get better, I think, in one area. The Crazies. Okay, the concept in the Crazies is great. Now we're getting somewhere. And it's funny because the concept in Night, that's why I think Night was just a fluke, dude. I'm serious. But anyway, the Crazies, the concept is great. I think the execution is dog shit. It's, once again, the editing, horrible, dude. Horrible.
Yeah, we kind of talked about. I wouldn't consider this horrible. I enjoy a lot of the characters. I enjoy a lot of the scenes in this movie. I enjoy the crazy people in this movie. It is creepy. It is dated and like yeah, it doesn't age well. But I mean, I do like a lot of things. I would put this a little. I would put this mid as well. Um, just as I would as of season, but I it has substance to it, so I don't
We're
hate.
we're getting better. The trajectory is going
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
So it's still mid, but now we're at least mid where it's like, okay, I didn't hate it. I don't like it. Whereas I could staunchly put my foot down one way or the other because I give it extra points for certain things. The concepts here, it gets points for concept because you can watch the Crazies and you can see where stuff like 28 Days Later might have got their influence.
Sure.
And dude, it literally watch the Crazy and it's Resident Evil.
Yeah.
It's Resident Evil. It's like Resident Evil 3 if you guys played that game back in the day, and they're gonna nuke the whole town. You got the fucking spooks coming in, wiping everybody out, and they got a pandemic that's breaking out. It's so it influenced all these things. I'm convinced, but that just took the idea and ran with it better and further. And so we were talking about it when we did the remake episode last week, but this is the prime example of the kind of movie that would deserve a remake. We're not talking about the remake they made. Who cares, right? I'm just saying you have a great concept that failed in its execution, in my opinion. This is the kind of movie you should bring back and like, okay, let's revisit this and give it its due. Like, we don't need to really remake Dawn of the Dead. I mean, whatever, but let's remake the Crazies. Something went wrong here, and there's a great concept. So we're getting a little better. Each one's getting a little better for me, but to me, the editing is all over the fucking map with this too, dude. It's so jarring. Like,
It
there's
is.
that
Especially in the beginning, yeah, it
the
is.
fucking the priest on fire, dude, and it cuts to like
Yeah.
that weird dummy, and it's just like a weird angle. I don't. His shot choices were really fucking mind-boggling to me, and his editing was just all. I don't know. I don't know what his thing was because he wasn't that bad later. It's kind of these earlier movies.
Well, I mean, he's cutting his teeth, man. What do you expect?
I guess it's just he was cutting his teeth on fucking, well, maybe not wide releases, but these are wide enough releases. These are movies that were playing in the drive-ins.
These had no budgets, though, man. I mean, these weren't that big of releases. These 3 films, especially.
But what does budget have to do with the way you're shooting it? Like, it doesn't. I don't think it has.
No,
Maybe
it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't.
What it has to do with is how much time you have to shoot stuff. So you're getting like your 3 shots. You're getting your master shot, and you're getting a couple of angles, and you're done. You got to move on because you don't have time. You don't have the money. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe, but like, because if you have the budget, you're going to be watching the dailies every single day, and then you might decide, hey, we got to go redo that before we move locations. He probably didn't have that luxury. He's probably just like, one and done, we got to move. And it just, the fact that he rolled the dice and did some of the shots as his one shot at Glory, you'd think he would have played it a little safer. I don't know. I'm not dogging him. I think it was kind of a mess. But we're getting somewhere. The theme and what's going on is really, really cool. We're getting into fun territory, just not executed well. What's your thoughts exactly on it though? So it's mid for you.
Mid.
What are the biggest problems with it?
The editing, like you were saying, early in the movie. It's just not. It's not something a movie I can go back to really. I do like the character. Like I do like Lynn Lowry. I think she's solid. But when it comes to these movies, I would say Crazies and Season of the Witch are 1A, 1B. I think they're mid movies, and then There's Always is the worst.
Yeah. So we're kind of leaving Night out of the equation right now because I think we can talk a little bit more about Night when we go further on because I guess we'll inject Amusement Park because technically it came after. It obviously wasn't unearthed till much later, very recently in the last couple of years.
2017, 2018.
This is not a flick that he wrote either. But Todd can kind of go over the history. He was commissioned by who to make a PSA? Who was it? The church? Who commissioned him?
It was a church, I think. I'm guessing in Pittsburgh, commissioned him to make some sort of documentary about like Alzheimer's or like old people or something. And he ended up coming up with the amusement park. I don't think they liked it. And this kind of got rediscovered back in 2017, 2018. Then Shutter picked it up. They ended up coming out with a Blu-ray of it. It was aired for the first time. I mean, this is only, I think this movie is, or this short film is only like what, an hour, 45 minutes or something. It's not very long.
I don't think it's an hour. It's 54 minutes. I'm looking at
54
right now.
minutes. So this is basically like an episode of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
I want to tell you, I don't know what your personal opinion is. I actually enjoy this movie or film, short film. It's a fever dream. It is a Twilight Zone episode. The old man, I think, is interesting. The whole concept is interesting. Growing old, growing older. Of course, he has to throw his theme in there, but I think it's cool, man. It's something different that I actually think it's better than. It's better than the crazy. It's better than Always Vanilla. It's better than Seasons. Something about this little flick is just, I mean, it's kind of chilling and it makes you feel something. Let's just say that.
Well, part of that helps it for me is the runtime. If this was an hour and a half,
no way.
But if this was an hour and a half, maybe you'd be like, all right, let's get it over with.
It's surprising for a Romero movie. I'm glad it's only 50 some minutes.
So that helps it. I think I said we talked about this on a podcast before, but I think as a PSA, it fucking kicks ass.
Yeah.
As a Romero film, it's still kind of middle territory for me, but like I don't hate it. It's short. It's in effect. It is creepy. It's really odd and off-putting, but when
you should be masters of horror, that sort of
when
thing.
you realize what the genesis of it and the fact that it was a PS, it makes sense. Then you start like, oh, and when I start looking at it through that lens, like, oh man, like who commissioned it, what it was supposed to be for, dude, is it really effective? It's really creepy. So yeah, but I'm trying to grade it as like a Romero piece, and I still find it to be just kind of middle of the road. Not bad. Not great, but it's just kind of middle. Like I don't have any desire to like go back and watch it, but it was creepy. Like I kind of enjoyed my time with it.
I think it was better than a lot of his other shorts.
I will
personal opinion.
Look, Running Time alone, I'm gonna put it. This is his best movie since Night.
This might be a better short than some of the ones coming up soon. So
all right, so. But it's inoffensive. I like I said, we're still middle of the road territory. It's got a cool concept. It's creepy. It doesn't overstay its welcome. So I guess
above mid for me.
Yeah, I think we're still trending up for me. We're still like inching up. Now, this is where it's going to get interesting because this is kind of where the next era of Romero starts, I think. Martin, 1977. I'm on record for saying I watched Martin with Todd when we were kids and I didn't like it. But that's a total like lame take because it's not a kids movie. No one could blame me for not fucking really being invested in this as a kid. I watched it somewhat recently again, and I'm like, you know what? I appreciate this a lot. This movie has the concept in spades. Dude, the concept is insane. It's really a really cool concept. And the story's neat. And it keeps you invested. You're constantly thinking. It's keeping me invested. And I don't know. To me, this is the best movie since Night. Like, finally. It's like
yeah.
Darth Goracorn, Romero is either pure gold or raw pewter in his films. There is no in between. We'll get there, but no, in my opinion, Romero is like when he's good, he's good. He's only got one masterpiece. We'll get there. Like 10 out of 10. He's got one. I know other people. He's got other good movies.
I don't know. We'll talk about it.
He's got, in my opinion, he's got one flawless masterpiece that will stand the test of time. It'll survive the nuclear holocaust. And then he's got a few good movies, and then he's just got a lot of shit. I mean, that's just my opinion. And when I say shit, I'm not even talking about vanilla. I think anything below like a 5 out of 10 is shit to me.
Yeah,
So,
no, I agree.
but we'll get there. But Martin, dude, this is more of like, I don't know. It's to me, this is like a bridge between what I'm going to consider the old era and the new era, because this definitely feels artsy like his earlier movies, but it's done so much better. The editing is good. It's fine. It's not offensive. It's fluid. The shot profiles.
John Amplis' lead role is great, man.
Yeah, the actors are never the problem, but the actors in this are great. The editing is great. The story is cool. It's very appealing. The motives are very interesting. I just feel like this is peak old Romero. Like, this is what he wished he could have fucking pulled off with those weird ass art projects he was doing a few years before.
Yeah, I agree.
But you know, I really enjoyed Martin. You know, I've only been able to watch it once in appreciation. The other time I watched it, I didn't love it, but you know, admittedly, I didn't get it. Now, when I say I really enjoyed it, we're still not in like amazing territory for me yet. But this is the first movie I could say I liked, not counting Night. This is the first one I could say I like. But I will say something about Martin. This is the kind of movie where I am itching to revisit.
Oh,
I don't ever want to watch these other ones I've mentioned ever again. I'm good. But Martin, dude, I could tell this is going to be a movie. I like to aim low with my scores. And then because like this one's got room to grow, I'm going to leave some room to, because I'd rather go up than go down in my ratings. Because I've done that. I've watched movies and I'm like that, and I change my rating down. Like, you know.
Well, it's a type of movie that's a good enough movie where you don't remember everything about it, but you know you like the movie when you actually watched it, so you want to go back and watch it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So right now, this one is good for me. We're not in like amazing fucking territory yet for me, but it's a good flick, very interesting, and I want to go back to it. And I just know it's this kind of thing I could pick apart, and I feel like it's going to go up. But that's kind of where I sit with Martin. But you've lived with Martin for a lot longer, so you probably have that baked in appreciation. So you're probably ranking it a little higher than me right now. But overall thoughts?
This is one of the top Romero movies, I think. First viewing, I wasn't as impressed as the second viewing. Blaine mentions it. Martin always gets better with the revisit. That is true. Every time I go back to it, I like it more and more and more. That's why I'm glad Second Sight put out that box. And it's, I don't know. I love this movie and more. Nobody really talks about this movie. It's very underappreciated for Romero. It's one of his best. I would put it in probably his fourth or fifth best movie that he's come out with. But I love it, man.
I'll have to think about that. I probably will too, but that's only because I think the bad Romero films far outweigh the good ones.
Yeah,
so it's not going to be hard to make that top list, even with like how I feel about Martin. But I just, now that we're entering a better era, I just think it's really unfortunate, man, because he started off with a bang with Night of the Living Dead, and it just comes off like such a fucking fluke because he just had a string of half-baked ideas. It almost makes you, if it was backwards, if he did Vanilla first and then Season and Crazies, and he's kind of like edging up, and then we got into like fucking Night, that would just feel more natural. It just feels so weird that Night was what it was, and then it's like, and it took a while for us to pick that momentum.
Wouldn't you rather have peaks and valleys, though? Even like as a musician, you don't want to peak. I mean, you don't want to peak like in your second album, do you? I mean, it's only downhill from there. So,
well, I know, but this isn't peaks and valleys. This is a peak and then a fucking plane crash for a long time.
Yeah,
and then
a peak, and then a peak. Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
and then play it back
to me a peak and valley would be like Night was awesome, Vanilla didn't hit, but Season of the Witch was great. Then Crazy's Ed it hit. That's you're describing Meatloaf's career. You have this one skyrocketing album, then you fucking plummet and you're fucking dead for 10 years. Then you come out of nowhere with the #1 album after many bomb records. That's not the typical thing. But yeah, no. In the case of my suffering, I would have appreciated more peaks and valleys because I felt like it was. But anyway, Martin, he directed it, he wrote it, and he edited it, so he's getting better. And this looks like it cost about $5 too, so I'm not going to give it always a pass. I'm not going to give Vanilla and Season of the Witch a pass because I think the set design on Season of the Witch and stuff is cool. Everything,
Yeah.
it's not. Martin looks even more bare bones, but it works so much better. So yeah, there's Martin, and then
Before we get into Dawn of the Dead,
yeah,
why don't you read the chat so I can go to the bathroom real quick?
okay, he's gonna hit the head. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like a big meanie by saying Night of the Living Dead is a fluke, but maybe the film in itself is not a fluke because obviously he had more success when he went back to that well. But just yeah, man, I just don't. I don't know. Martin always gets better. Yeah, it does. Gamer guy Martin was the first time watch and it clicked with me on many levels. Really personal levels. I hope not. Martin did some nefarious things. But yeah, I watched Martin, dude, when we were kids, and he introduced me to it, and I'm like, dude, I don't get it. When you're like a preteen, I was used to watching palatable stuff like Nightmare on Elm Street, and I had been into like Return of the Living Dead 1 and 2 and stuff like that. But Martin was a bit of, and I like Dawn. I had been introduced to Dawn of the Dead, but just Martin was a different beast at that time. I just remember Todd describing it as, oh, it's a vampire movie. And I'm watching it. I'm like, where's the vampires? Where is it? Silhouette, 0 out of 10. Not enough Martin Short or Martin Sheen. Will says not personal, but just as a movie and its take on the vampire mythos. So Todd's back, so we're gonna get.
You don't know if he's a vampire or not, which is cool. That's why.
That's what's so cool about it. And I love the fact that, like I said, that script. It was a real script, man, and it was fluid, and it got you thinking. It didn't hold your hand, and like you said, they play on it like you don't know if he's a vampire or not. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. His uncle is his uncle, right? Cousin or uncle? I can't remember. But his uncle and him are both convinced he's a vampire, and that's all that matters. Yeah. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if he is or he isn't. It's really fascinating. So it's to me that's like a really good type of student film. Like you think you would want to watch something like that in college, as a learning thing because. So yeah, like I said, he was working up to it and he got there. But man, we had a huge leap from 77 to 78. Now, when I say Night of the Living Dead was a fluke, maybe the film wasn't a fluke because, man, when he went back and tapped that well again and we went back to zombies, he struck lightning again, and he struck lightning bigger. And there is just something about this movie where it's alien. It's like everything was perfect, in my opinion. The set was perfect. The music was perfect. I mean, we got the classic fucking Goblin score. This movie is not like any Romero movie before it.
Got the library tracks and Goblin mixed together, which is even better.
Which I got the library track vinyl that came out recently.
It's great, yeah.
So Martin kind of, like I said, Martin kind of feels like a bridge. Yeah. It feels like the style of movie he was trying to do before, but he succeeded. But then it also opened the gate for like, okay, his editing's on point, his storytelling's on point, and now we're just entering the new era with Dawn, and it's just got style, man. The movie's got style. I love the way it looks. There is no more movie that is more 70s than this. It just oozes 70s, man. And I know in the States it came out in 79. It was filmed in 78. Europe in 78, right? But still, dude, it just reeks of 70s. I love looking at Monroeville Mall. I like looking at the fucking Brown Derby in the mall, the gun store, all these like stores that never would have existed in malls when we were like in high school. I love the story. I love the making of. I just like how the film was made. It's one of the most interesting behind the scenes stories. on what he did to get that thing made.
Got the two
Obviously,
SWAT team members. You got the news crew. You got the Flyboy. You got Franny.
was this
I
his
mean,
first hookup with Savini, or was he on Martin?
no, he was on Martin.
Was
He was
Martin the
all,
first?
no, he was on Season the Witch, wasn't he? He
Oh,
was a
was he?
pit role in there, wasn't he?
Oh, I don't
Savini?
remember. I don't remember seeing Savini in Season of the Witch.
No, no, I'm thinking of William Heinzman, the cemetery zombie from. Okay, yeah, yeah, I think it was Martin.
He did more. So, but just this man, he's got the crew. Um, we've already talked about this ad nauseum, but this is his magnum opus. It's a 10 out of 10. This is the movie I think he should be remembered for. I get by proxy, it's attached to Night of the Living Dead. So he's the Godfather of the zombie, all that stuff. Right? But this is just, I don't know how to.
It's peak. It's peak Romero.
Night of the Living Dead is. I don't know. I don't even fucking. How would you describe it? It's the prototype.
Yeah,
It's the prototype. It's kind of the thing that everybody was influenced by to a degree. But I don't know if the influence in Night of the Living Dead, it might be bigger than what it might be as big as it is. Like when you see it spoofed as much and parodied so much, is it because it's public domain and people can lampoon it a little harder? I don't know.
would it have been? Would it have been the same with the zombie trilogy? I don't know.
But yeah, it's just Dawn of the Dead. It just takes it to 11 because, in my opinion, Night of the Living Dead. I'm not going to give Night of the Living Dead a perfect 10.
No,
but Dawn of the Dead is just it's a once in a lifetime type of flick. And the fact is, if he would have just made this film, it would still be really good. And most filmmakers never get to make a movie as good as this. So I'm not shitting on him if I'm trying to say a fluke or a one trick pony or I'm not like, dude. People would give their left nut to make one great movie. So I don't know if it was so much of a fluke or if it's like, hey, the zombie thing was working. We have this idea. Let's explore this more, or let's at least go back to that fluke and let's extract it.
Look at Clive Barker. I mean, some of these directors are known for one or two things, and they're legends. So,
and Clive Barker only directed a couple of flicks.
Yeah,
he didn't keep directing. But even like as an author, he's got like a handful of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not knocking it, but I just don't know what can be said. Why do you think Dawn of the Dead is so different and it really represents like a whole new era? I think it does. It's just night and day from the stuff we've seen.
It's a
pun
comic.
intended.
It's a comic book movie. It's a Marvel movie made in the 70s, back before Marvel was a Marvel. I mean, I don't know. Everything about it is the characters are great. I mean, of course, the special effects are great. The zombies look blue. I love that. I mean,
I love it. People talk about the Day of the Dead zombies. I like the zombies.
Day of the Dead Dawn. Dawn's zombies creep me out just as much as Day of the Dead zombies.
But the Day of the Dead zombies. But I get it. The effects work was more detailed, and it was, I guess, quote unquote, better. But it was also more boring. There's just something like I said, this movie is all about style, dude. It's just all about style. There's something way more interesting about those blue zombies and that real deep red, right? That I don't know. I love everything.
Everything you want in a movie is in Dawn of the Dead.
And and like I said, it did what a sequel should do, where it was bigger and better. So in this one, dude, we're now working with color and the zombies are way more varied. You got a cast of characters that are memorable. Like everybody remembers these zombies that show up in these fucking things, even whether or not they were alive on screen or not. The Hare Krishna zombie, people remember Dr. Tongue and Day. There was more of that. And the effects were next level because his effects there really wasn't a lot in Martin. There's not, nothing really. And then the stuff you get to see in the crazies is, there's like blood and there's gunshots and it's got that trademark really bright red paint blood or whatever. But the priest setting himself on fire like a crash test dummy. It's not there. It's not there. Then all of a sudden, we hit like the fucking mother load with Dawn of the Dead. It just everybody, you could tell everybody was like leveling up during the making of this film. Everybody was just leveling up in their craft. Probably Savini too.
I mean, the fact that he had Dario Argento on board, I mean, helped out a lot. I mean, I don't like his cut, the Argento cut.
Uh-huh.
I love Romero's cut. I love his extended director's cut. I also like theatrical cut, but the extended stuff is cool. But I really I went back and rewatched the Argento cut, and I was like, eh. I mean, all Goblin score. I mean, Goblin's cool, but it's got to be mixed with the library stuff because it just makes the movie that much better, in my opinion.
Yeah, and maybe that is the secret sauce. Maybe the secret sauce is Argento's partnership and input there.
Yeah,
Because I don't think Day of the Dead is the same. It's not the same.
it's not the same. No, it's not a perfect movie, but
So you guys know where we stand on that one. This was we were edging. We were edging until this, and then we finally came. But I tell you what though, when I watched Dawn of the Dead, and then I watched some of this stuff like Vanilla and The Witch and The Crazies, and even some later movies that we haven't talked about yet, I'm fucking blown away that this is the same director. Sometimes. Like, dude, like sometimes I'm just like, this. I can't believe the guy that did Dawn of the Dead.
well, you can tell the Crazies and Dawn of the Dead are very similar. Man.
What I mean is the quality. Like
Yeah.
that's what I mean. And like, no, you can make an excuse for Crazy. Like, okay, he's getting better. He's getting better. We're kind of fine tuning it. We're finding his niche. Like you said, you could see it in the Crazies. You get. But then, like, it's really not an excuse for some of the stuff that comes later on in his career. You're like,
absolutely,
what the fuck? Like, dude, this is the same guy. That's a little bit different where you've regressed. But anyway, so now it took 3 years for him to make his next flick, and that's Night Riders. He directed, he wrote it, and he edited this one as well. Much respect. He tried to again. He had success with zombies, and again, just like Night, he's like, let me step outside of that. Let's try and see if I can take this steam again and move it to another genre. Amusement park. Sorry, not amusement park. Night Riders is interesting. It's a very much an alluring concept because you're just like, I was like drawn into the fucking absurdness of it. Like what? Like this trope. This fucking bicycle trope, medieval fucking fairgrounds trope that takes themselves way fucking seriously was really wild. Tom Savini, he's got a chief role in it, which, Todd's, he is really good in it. The actors are great. He doesn't have a bad experience with actors. I'm not dogging that. Savini holds his own. Ed Harris is fantastic. I mean, he's a great actor, and it's really fun to see all the Dawn alumni in this movie, right? Is all the people that are just kind of coming back, and some soon-to-be Day people too, right?
Yeah. You had Joe Pilato.
Yeah.
The funny thing is about this movie, though, is Romero wrote it for everything to be on horseback, not to be on motorcycles. I guess the producer said that he wanted it on motorcycles. And it was a fight back and forth, and then it finally came out.
The motorcycles works for it because it's
yeah.
Dude,
I think it's better with motorcycles.
If that was Ed Harris on the front in a knight armor on a horse, I'd be like, what the hell is this? The fact that you have this medieval looking knight on a motorcycle, it makes you wonder. It makes you want to watch it and see what's going on here.
Well, and Romero actually hated the post. He didn't like the poster. That was another thing that's done by the producer. I mean, something that draws you in. I'm not a huge fan of the poster myself. It's fine. It's interesting. But Ed Harris on a motorcycle, they could have done a little bit more. He was. I don't think he was too happy about that.
But you can only imagine how boring it would have been if that was the same poster on a horse.
Absolutely.
At least with the motorcycle, I've always seen this poster. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Because you have no idea that it's going to be like a Renaissance fair thing.
Yep.
You think it's going to be this weird like time trap. Like, what the fuck is going on? You don't go to. That's not where your brain goes. And in fact, the movie starts out. You're not really told that from the beginning. It's kind of as it unfolds in the first few minutes or whatever, you realize, oh, it's like a fair. It really takes you by surprise. Like, oh, this is where we're going with this. And now, with that said, I think this movie's mid. I don't think it's very good. I don't think it's bad. It's the thing that hurts this. It had no business being 2.5 hours long.
And see, I could see
What?
I understand what you're saying there, but I didn't mind the long run time. I do
Oh,
in the majority of Romero movies. Don't like the long run time, especially in his later films. But this one, I could see why they actually added some of the later scenes, with the whole Ed Harris arc and everything like that, and how it finished and all that. I know you didn't like it. I really enjoy this
I
movie. I think it's a solid movie, man.
I think Romero has these movies that we already talked about that were terrible. They were all like 90 minutes. I can only
I'm talking about
imagine.
the ones down the road,
Oh,
man.
I could only imagine if Vanilla was 2.5 hours. Vanilla felt like fucking 2.5 hours. This movie, I would have been a lot kinder to it. To me, this is a 90-minute movie. To me, there's a 90-minute movie here, 100%.
I actually like the stunts. I thought it was cool. I didn't mind it. Being in that world, I'm not used to like the whole carny folk, the whole Renaissance fair. I find it interesting. It'd probably be better in the '70s or the '80s, uh, being around that time. But I think it's still effective, man. I think it's cool.
That's right, gamer guy. Shout out to the lawyer from Jurassic Park playing that sleazy exec. So I
Yeah,
just, I just,
you had
I
Stephen
would,
King in there. He jumped in. John Amplis, the clown, is creepy, dude.
dude, Stephen King just showing
Um,
up. Like I keep asking myself, like, why did he buy tickets to this? He's complaining nonstop. Oh, it's so fake. Like he's terrible, dude. He's so funny, but his terrible acting and God, he's such an ugly man. He's such a goofball, dude. He looks
he's
so fucking weird.
terrible. Ken Fourier's in it. Patricia Tallman, she looks pretty good in it. Tom Savini. The one thing is, I this is Tom Savini's best role, man. I goof on Savini all the time, but I think he's really fun in this movie, and I think he's a good actor in this
And
movie.
he's a bit of a playboy, a little hinting at his real life persona, a little bit of a
Yes,
sleazeball, dude.
he exactly. That's exactly how he is in real life. That's the guy we met. So
Oh, I'd say he was a nicer. This guy had redeeming qualities in the movie.
yeah, he did cry at the. I mean, he was kind of yeah, but yeah, this I really like Savini in this, so I give him his kudos there.
I would just really be interested in seeing a different cut of this movie because I would like it a lot better if it was a lot shorter. I give it literally a 5 out of 10 because it was just so damn long. If this thing could get the fat trimmed off of it seriously and get to the point faster, I mean, it might not even just be a 6. I might bump it up to a 7. It's just it was too long. To me, bloat is the number one killer of anything. It's the worst crime any fucking movie could commit, I think, because bloat removes any potential. A bad movie's a bad movie, but a good movie with bloat, you've just fucking desecrated over what could have been a really good film.
I totally understand. Yeah, running in at 226. I agree. I wish this movie. I wish they came out with, like a special edition because this, like, I like it enough. I think I gave it like a 8 out of 10. I really like this movie.
I would have been interested like what it was like behind the scenes, like because this just feels like it was a director's cut. This feels
Yeah,
like a director's cut where it's usually the director wants everything in the fucking sink kept in the movie, and you got to have that guy that fucking reins them in. Like, no, bro, because a director, he edited this, right? He edited this. Let's see.
yeah, yeah.
See, I don't think that's a good thing. I think that might be his problem sometimes. Is
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
the majority of directors aren't editors. They always have like their hand in the editing, and
I
they're
think he's a better editor than director. I mean, later or
yeah.
in the middle of his,
Well,
but yeah, he does have a long. He does keep a lot
the
of shit
problem is
section, but
like the editor is always going to be involved. The director is always going to be involved with the editing. He might be in the room, he might be giving feedback, but I think at that point, if you just got done giving your life to this fucking movie for 2 years, you need to step away from it. You cannot edit that shit yourself. Most directors can't because you're too close to it. You can't tell at this point what's good and bad and what's bloat. You're too close to it. So I think that might be Romero's Achilles here. That's just my opinion. Dawn of the Dead is an exception, but like his editing is
And
But
I
this
can see that. I can see some people like I enjoyed the runtime in this, and normally I hate it, but it just kept me intrigued the whole time, which is surprising.
so fairly consistent with Todd, but for me it's like we were mid, boom, geyser, and now we're kind of back down to mid levels. Well, no, yeah, because we're below
I'm
where I felt.
I'm high on this one. I like this one.
Okay, but we're about to hit another high, and this isn't one that he wrote, but Creep Show is a crown jewel. As far, like I
Yeah,
said, as far as the great Romero stuff, this is in that like echelon. Creep
absolutely.
Show's amazing. It's so much fun. It is. Is it the best? Uh, is it the best anthology flick? There's a lot. There's a
I
few.
I would say so. Yeah,
It's up there. If um, but and I know he didn't direct or. It's so funny. He wrote some Creep Show too, but he didn't direct. He didn't write any of the Creep Show one, but he did some writing in Creep Show 2 and didn't do anything else, which is interesting. But so we're not going to talk about Creep Show 2. I think Creep Show 2 is
just as good. Not as
yeah,
good.
it's
It's
maybe
good.
almost as good, but yeah, I don't know what to say. Creep Show's amazing. Stephen King's also got a spot in Creep Show, right? Him and Romero were very close.
Yeah,
But yeah, what do you want to say about Creep Show that hasn't already been said? I love Creep Show, dude. I like
I love it
Ted
too.
the actors, dude. You got Ted Danson, you got Leslie Nielsen.
You had
It's
Hal
great.
Holbrook. You have Adrian Barbeau, which I love.
Yeah.
I mean,
She'll show up later
all the
and
Ed Harris is back. I mean, all these stories are cool in the original Creep Show.
I love it.
Um, I don't know what my favorite is because I don't know. I think they're equally as good. Even Stephen King's, you know, role in it is entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, even though he's kind of shitty actor, but that whole scene or whatever where he's pretty much blows his head off with a shotgun. I mean,
It,
it's very effective. It's fun. It's just a fun movie, man.
now, he didn't do any writing, and I don't know if that's a bad or good thing. I don't have anything against his writing. I think Romero's writing's fine. The editing, maybe he wasn't, he edited this, but maybe it helps that he wasn't dealing with one giant narrative and he was dealing with these mini vignettes. Maybe that was easier to rein in, right? Because it's like it's hard. And he didn't write it, so it's like, because think about it, dude. Night Riders, he wrote everything on the fucking page, and then he fucking directed everything he put on the page, and then he wanted to keep everything that he wrote on the
Yeah,
page.
yeah,
He's going off somebody else's vignettes that were already written. If
yeah.
he was just kind of sticking to the structure and sticking to what was on the page, it probably reined him in on how long these things could be. Maybe that's, I don't know. But it should be noted this is the last thing he edited.
Yeah.
This, Todd kept saying he gets better later, but he got better later because he
I,
stopped.
I I wouldn't say this is the best thing or the last good thing he edited. I wouldn't say that.
But you were saying later on, he didn't edit anything else. He stopped after this. Nothing else he edited, and maybe that's for the better. I don't know. Not necessarily because not all the shit in the later is good either. But the editing is not the issue. So, but Creepshow's amazing. I love Creepshow. I don't know. It's at least an 8 out of 10 for me. I love it. I don't know. I'm not
I
gonna
would give
deep.
it I would get a 9,
It's
9,
high. I
10
don't
out of
know.
10. I mean,
I don't know. I haven't watched it in a minute. Maybe, but I just know, dude. When we're talking about 8 to 10s, splitting hairs, to me that's just
yeah.
great level. So now we're gonna get into controversial Day of the Dead. Um, I don't love Day of the Dead. I like Day of the Dead. I don't love Day of the Dead.
Crazy. You're
For
crazy.
me,
We
Day of
talk
the
about this
Dead.
all the time. I don't understand this shit.
No. It's just because it's in the shadow of dawn. I think it is 7 out of 10, which is good. That is a good score.
7? Oh,
I think it's a good score. I do feel. I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. I feel like there is some meandering in Day of the Dead. There's a little bit of meandering. All the stuff with Bub is fantastic. The scene with Bub and the gun and giving him the bullet and all that stuff is one of the best scenes that he's ever done. I think it's really fantastic. The characters are fun. The gore is fun. I just think the overall setting is very drab. Maybe that takes me out in some
that's
parts.
why I like it.
You like that setting.
Yeah.
It's a bit drab for me.
It is drab. I give you that.
I don't know what it is about it, but it's just it doesn't hit like Dawn of the Dead. It doesn't have the character that Dawn of the Dead has. Dawn of the Dead has such unique character about it, and maybe part of it too is like Day of the Dead. To me, it's the tent pole for like from that point on zombie movies. I feel like anybody and everybody that made a zombie movie from Day of the Dead onward were just kind of like going to that Day of the Dead mold with how zombies looked, and nobody made shit that looked like Dawn of the Dead. That's just like, hey, we got paint them blue and all this shit like that. But from Day of the Dead, to me, that was like the proto. Like, okay, they hit this point. Even when you watch like The Walking Dead and Greg and Nicotero, they're all kind of like chasing Day of the Dead now. It's just like,
Yeah,
and it makes it a little less special because it just looks like so much other shit.
well, Day of the Dead's very mean spirited, which I like. Joe Pilato, I mean,
Yeah.
he's over the top. All the characters are over the top. The dialogue is ridiculous. People hate the
Choke
dialogue.
on
I
him!
love
Choke on him!
so many good one-liners in the movie. I love, man. And
I
this is right next to Dawn for me. I think it's fantastic.
So you give it a 10 out of 10?
I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. I'm very, very hesitant to give a 10 out of 10.
The thing is that it's 7 out of 10 is good. If we were talking about any other movie, you'd be like, oh, 7 out of 10 is great. But I'm just saying, compared to Dawn,
I like it that much. Yeah, it's 1A, 1B. I used to like it better than Dawn back when I was younger.
But this is like, he's only got 10 out of 10 in my book, and so we're in the upper echelon of Romero right now. Like Day of the Dead's in the upper tier because it's 7 and above. Obviously, I have more of a special place in my heart for Creepshow, so I'm going to rank Creepshow higher. Creepshow I might be like behind Dawn, probably, but yeah,
Creepshow 9. Yeah, I mean it's great.
But that's just my opinion on it. There's just something about it. Maybe I'll keep warming up to it over the years. I always go back to Day of the Dead every however many years, and I go back to it. I'm like, okay, what can I don't know.
We need a 4K. That's all we can say, right?
That'll change my mind. They should do let Cameron do it.
Oh, I'll go down that road again.
All right, so we're gonna skip Creepshow 2 because it doesn't really count. But now we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. To me, this is kind of the bridge number 2. Martin was bridge number 1, 1 foot in the old, with 1 foot into what was coming next. Monkey Shines is kind of that bridge between new Romero. The last Romero. That's, in my opinion, it feels like it is. It's kind of got 1 foot in the old, but it's opening the door for what's coming. And Monkey Shines is fucking terrible, everybody. I have to say again, from Day of the Dead onward, Romero did not edit anything else for the better. I wish I could have picked his brain about that. I should have asked him that. Like, hey, why did you only edit out of necessity? Is that why you were doing it and you stopped? Why did you stop?
Studios probably wouldn't let him edit it.
Fucking finally a suit with a brain. I would have been the same way if I was giving him a buttload of my money. Like, dude, I love some of your work. You can't edit. I'll give you money.
I thought he was good, man. Dawn, I thought he edited great. Dawn.
That's the outlier. We're talking about his one fucking like to me magnum opus. But you can't. He didn't edit Day, so but everything else, man. Anyway, Monkey Shines, dude. To me, this reeks of like terrible made for TV movie. It's fucking terrible. It feels like a weird TV movie. It's boring. It's bland. It looks like I'm watching Brian's Song, but instead of like a guy dying, it's a guy that fucking breaks a monkey's neck with his jaw. It's just got a cheapness about it, and it's just boring. It's the worst crime ever. It's boring. Now that I've seen There's Always Vanilla, I can't say Monkey Shines is the worst, because nothing is ever going to bore me as much as There's Always Vanilla. But
I don't know. They're pretty close, man. I mean, this and There's Always Vanilla. I might take There's Always Vanilla over this. It's just got a stink on it, dude. Jason, whatever his name is, Beige or
Peter McAllister in Home Alone 4. That's what's
fucking terrible, man. This movie sucks.
It's terrible. It is really, really. And this is one of these movies where like I've been harping about this, and Todd's like, "Oh, I like Monkey Shines."
I
And
liked it.
then
I was like,
and
ah, it's not that bad.
I
When I was
was
a
like,
kid, I rewatched it. It's shit, dude.
I was like, Todd, I don't know what you're smoking. You need to revisit this because it's not good.
I revisit a lot of these Romero movies. And,
I used to see that Monkey Shines VHS cover all the time at rental stores,
oh
and
yeah,
I was always very interested. Like, what is that creepy monkey with the fucking ooh? And then like on talk about a bait and switch. I talk about a fucking huge bait and switch. Talk about giving the guy who did that cover, whoever marketed it, give him a raise because he did a great job. He got this kid's interest because I felt like I was lied to and robbed and just it's terrible. There's like no redeeming qualities. It is kind of fucking bizarre and hilarious when he breaks the monkey's neck, but it's not worth it. That juice is not worth the squeeze, man.
speaking of too long, isn't this like? I mean, this is over an hour 53. This is way too long, dude. This movie is so boring.
Oh, dude, it way too long. This is way too long. Oh, it's
Yeah.
based on a 1983 British novel by the same title. I wonder if the novel has to be better. I just don't.
The whole premise is just boring and dull. I don't give a shit about this.
You know, a movie like Monkey Shines feels like it should be no more than an episode of Tales from the Dark Side.
Yes, absolutely.
Like,
Well, that's with a lot of his movies.
Yeah, but like, dude, 25 minutes, whatever. Maybe there's something here. Get in, get out. Fucking, dude, 2 hours of this bullshit. You know,
Terrible.
Now, if you give me this story and it's like 22 minutes long on an episode of Tales from the Dark Side, and I sit through like 22 minutes and I get a guy breaking a monkey's neck with his jaw, maybe I'll be satisfied with that.
It's like, oh, that's the best part of the movie, and you're
I know.
I'm get to it.
And if it was just like part of like a fucking Tales of the Dark Side, it was like, and I only had to like invest 15 minutes to get to that. Like, oh, you know, maybe it's not so bad. I probably would have remembered that. But
the quadriplegic having sex with the girl. I mean, those two scenes are the best part of the movie.
It's not nearly as good as Freddy got fingered and his quadriplegic girlfriend sucking his dick.
Yeah,
Tom Green did it better. Anyway, yeah, Monkey Shines. I don't want to waste too much time on Monkey Shines because it's absolute bullshit, guys. Monkey.
Speaking of absolute bullshit,
what's next? We're gonna skip over Night 90. I know George had a writing credit. We're gonna skip over that. Now we're gonna get into the dark half. Riverman. Did you just watch that for the first time, or did you rewatch it?
I rewatched it.
So, spoiler alert. I watched this last about like 4 years ago. I didn't rewatch it. There's only so much fucking time in the day. I remember enough about it. It's very, very not
boring.
good. It's
shitty.
This is how I rated it. I rated it when I watched it about 4 years ago, I think is the last time I watched it. I gave it a 4 out of 10, which is not good. Anything below a 5, for me, a 5 is like, look, I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. I'll never watch again. But it's like, you know, I didn't want to eat a bullet while watching it. Anything below that is a fucking hard pass. And yeah, it's just kind of boring. This is a what's it called? This is a Stephen King, right? Stephen King adaptation. So this is very much a George Romero for hire. On the surface, there's nothing offensive about it. Like, it looks fine. It's more of a standard director for hire fare. It's like it could have been directed by anybody. It's one of these flicks. I just don't think the story was very gripping.
It's terrible.
Yeah, Todd's, you're fresher on it. Go ahead and talk about it. It misses the mark.
I hate everything about this movie. I hate Timothy Hutton is so hateable, man. I can't stand this guy as an actor, and you got to see him twice. So he's like, you know, you got the good Timothy Hutton, you got the evil Timothy Hutton. Then you have Amy Madigan, which is she's terrible. I hate her. I hate her face. She's annoying. Just everything about this. Michael Rooker is the best part of this movie, but still, he can't. I mean,
it's a Stephen King. It's a Stephen King adaptation starring a guy that's an author. Where have we seen that? Every single fucking story he does.
And he can't. Romero can't do it. Carpenter can, but Romero can't do it. This is 2 hours. This movie, and this movie bores you to tears. It's nothing good about this movie. I don't think.
And honestly, I don't know who to blame for this, because you could make the argument that most Stephen King adaptations are fucking not good too.
Yeah,
Most of them.
yeah,
This is the majority of Stephen King adaptations.
I agree.
He's got great adaptation, but there's so many, like an array of filmmakers that are doing this. He's got great adaptations. He's got really good adaptations, and he's just got like a lot of bullshit and a lot of just middling stuff that could have been made for TV. And but yeah, so I don't know how much say Romero had with this. He didn't. Let me look at the. He wrote it, so I'm not gonna let him off that easy.
No, don't. I mean, this is a one star for me. Like
I
this, There's Always Vanilla is
I
like
never
shit on
I
the bear.
never I never read the book. If the book
I
wasn't,
I don't
it's
want to read the book. Fuck the
I don't
book.
know if I don't know if it's based on a short story or if it was a full novel. But if the source material was also bad, I'd be more inclined to give him a little bit of a pass there. But if the source material's good, like I have a feeling the book's probably pretty okay. If the book was good and he fucking failed, I don't know, guys. What do you guys think? Bland and boring
Yeah,
and convoluted plot. Yeah, it's just 2 hours. Give me a break, dude. I'm not against these 2 hours, 2.5 hour movies, dude, but you got to earn it, and nobody earns it, and it's okay if you don't earn it. Not every story has to be this fucking long.
you don't want to see
I
Timothy Hutton for 2 minutes more than those 2 hours.
You want to see that fucking pock mark face for 2 hours? You want to see that crater face? I don't want to look at Ray Liotta for 2 hours. Well, I do in Goodfellas, but that's it. I don't want to see Timothy Hutton. Timothy
Moving
Hutton.
on.
This is not his first, or this is not his last Stephen King adaptation. Timothy Hutton was also in Secret Window with Johnny Depp, where Johnny Depp plays a writer. And Timothy Hutton.
I think we skipped over Two Evil Eyes. The first story.
Oh, we did. I was going
Yeah.
off the Wikipedia, and I was going down the list. So Two Evil Eyes came right before Dark Half. What weird. I wonder why it doesn't show it on here. They just have it totally omitted. So my bad. Two Evil Eyes. So this one's a bit different because
Acts in the Case of Mr. Valdemar.
it's a co-op, right, with Argento.
We're
So
only
we
doing
we don't really have to get too deep into the Argento portion because it's weird rating this movie because how do you rate a movie like this? Like if you like one movie better than the other, like I'm not saying that's the case with this, but if one half was amazing and the other one really brought it down, do you treat them as different movies, kind of like a Death Proof situation, or do you like law of averages because it is one flick? They were never released individually. How do you treat that?
I treat it as it's an hour, so it's probably 30 minutes too long. This movie is, I think it's boring for an hour. I think if he trimmed it down to an hour or half an hour, like Tales from the Dark Side, I think it'd be solid. But it's nothing right
So
home top for me.
okay, so this movie is 2 hours even. They're not equal run times. Argento has the longer of the two. I timed it.
This is even too long for what it was.
Romero's is 50 minutes,
Yeah.
and then Argento has an hour and 10. I see here you gave it a 4 out of 10. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I didn't hate it. I thought it was fine. Like I said, it was a nice cleanser, dude. When you compare it to some of the other shit I've had to sit through, this is not bad. It was inoffensive, and it's like it's anthology. It's like watching two kind of long episodes of Tales from the Crypt or something. And I kind of liked both of them equally. The first one, they're both based on Edgar Allan Poe stories. That's kind of the rub of it. And
Adrian Barbeau is always good. I mean, that's probably the only reason I did enjoy it more than I should have.
maybe you could argue that they would probably maybe be even stronger if they were each a half hour. If
Yeah.
you just went full like actual. But you know what? If you kind of look at it like an episode of Tales from the Dark Side, dude, Two Evil Eyes. I mean, the first one, I'm not even gonna bother saying the title, but it's not a bad. As an anthology short, it's a creepy story. It's very simple as those kind of stories should be, and it's a fact. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was inoffensive. The actors were great, and then even if you want to talk about Argento's for a second here, his was fun. I mean, maybe it was a little long at an hour 10. Maybe they would have been better suited.
I actually liked Argento's better.
I think Argento's was a little better.
Yeah.
Argento's, I love what's his face. What's his fucking name? The wolf. Keitel. Harvey Keitel's great in it. I thought it was fucking sleazy as hell. Him fucking torturing those cats for
Yeah.
pictures, and what a cool character. Um, a photographer, right? It's this
Mhm.
freelance photographer, kind of like a Vicky Vale in Batman '89. Clearly, he's just like a freelance, sells his shit to other magazines, but like crime scene photos and shit like that. It's a cool character. I don't think is explored enough. But yeah, I'd say they were fairly on par. But yeah, I think I a little bit to the Argento, but I have nothing wrong. I have nothing wrong with Romero's. But it was very much for hire. It was based on a fucking Poe book. I'd say it was harmless. It was 6 out of 10. I enjoyed it enough. I would own it. I don't know if I who put that out. I don't know if I would. Is it Blue Underground? Who put out
I, I
2
I own it. Yeah, it's Blue Underground. Yeah.
See, I don't own it. I don't know if it's worth owning. It'd have to be like cheap enough. It's kind of cool. I like anthology stuff, so it gets a little bit of a bonus point. But how's the release of that?
Oh, it's great. It's a 4K.
Can I see it? Does it have like a slipcover?
Yeah,
If it's Blue Underground, I mean, like my zombie doesn't have a slipcover. Nice, flip that bad boy over. But it looks okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm tempted
Blue
to pick that.
Underground puts out great 4Ks.
I'm tempted to put that out sometime. I'm sorry to pick that up sometime. I liked it enough. Okay, so yeah, we did skip. Some of the effects are cool, dude. By the way, I love
Yeah.
that. I dude that creepy cat shit with the the Argento one, especially at the end where the body's on the wall and you got the dude. That's gnarly looking. But anyway, so yeah, we skipped that. Then came Dark Half, which was a real stinker again. So now we're in the era of kind of more peak and valleys, but none of it's like amazing peaks. It's kind of like ebb and flow. You know, cuts the mustard enough, doesn't cut the mustard for me anyway. So now we have the biggest gap of his career because we went from the Dark Half to 1993 to 2000 with Bruiser, and I mean, the Dark Half was his last theatrical. No, I'm sorry, before Land of the Dead. The Dark Half was theatrical. It must have fucking he must have pissed off the wrong people and didn't make enough money because the Bruiser was not a theatrical release. Bruiser was like, okay, now we're entering. This is like stink era with the exception of Land of the Dead. This is we're now in his direct to video era.
The Stink 90s.
The stink night and Bruiser was came out in 2000, but it doesn't matter. You could tell it was probably filmed in 99 and it stinks of 90s.
It's Canadian. Yeah, you can definitely tell.
With that said, you know, I don't think Bruiser's his worst movie. But let me pull up my review for this. It's mid, but I have seen the bottom. You have to understand, I have seen the bottom, and this is not the bottom. This is absolutely salvageable. It's totally mid. I mean, like fucking cut down the center. It's a 5 out of 10.
See, I like it more than you do.
Really? What'd you give it? Oh wow, a 7.
I gave it a 7. I like this movie. I didn't think I watched it back in the day, of course, on VHS. I rewatched it now, actually last night, and I still like it, man. That Peter Stormer, that sleazy fucking guy.
Peter Stormare, dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like there's a lot of good things in this. The mask is cool.
I will say this. Hold on. I will say this is one of those movies.
Oh god.
I was teetering. I'm like, God, do I give this a 5 or a 6? This is one of the ones I was teetering. So maybe more like a 5.5. It is slightly over the 5 to where I can say I like it. That's how I treat it. Because yeah, I didn't hate it. I kind of had fun with it. It did have that 90s stink. Peter Stormare was funny. Yeah, he's great. The lead actor, I don't know if you know where you've seen him, but he's like the main grunt. He's the main grunt in Transporter 2, the Russian.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's just like a grunt though. That's where I knew him. But yeah, the mask is creepy. There's something about that mask that was really creepy. I love the Michael Graves Misfits playing at the Halloween party,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, Tom Atkins in there. I mean, I think the main character's girlfriend or wife, man.
She's a babe.
Wow.
She's a smoke show.
Wow.
That slut.
I don't know.
Slut.
Something about this movie is just I don't know. 90 stink. It's like a USA up all night type of movie. The transitions of some of like the scenes are stupid. like flashbacks, or not flashbacks, but they're premonitions of like what's going to happen, that sort of thing,
Yeah.
are dumb, like how they like, but
It's
it's
got
totally 90s.
but it's
Uh,
got a straight to video stink about it.
yes, yes, but
But
I still enjoy it, man. It's fun.
you know what's funny though is what is it about this movie that kind of makes me kind of like it? It's not 2 hours long.
Yeah.
If a movie like this was 2 hours, I'd be like fucking easy 3 or 4. But like that's everything for me, man. So the fact that this is 99 minutes, it says here, you know, I could stay a movie like this, dude. If you would, I'll start losing investment. I will dip out.
The whole
But
premise though is cool. I mean, of course it's been done to death, but the guy gets shit on all the time. He comes back for revenge on all the people that shit on him, that sort of thing, which
mm,
I like. I think that's kind of always a cool premise. So if this came out with a better release, I hope it does, man, because I would pick it up.
I would buy it. I would own it too. Just
So
because I own fucking every other Romero movie at this point, because I've literally
yeah,
got all these Slam Bam movies. I don't have Two Evil Eyes. I would need Bruiser. Is it on DVD somewhere? You got a DVD release, right?
I have a DVD, but I want a decent edition of it. Be
I
nice.
I I love the Misfits, dude, because I kind of have a soft spot for those Michael Graves records,
Mhm.
those couple records, and I know all those songs they were playing, dude. They're so catchy, dude. I just like it. The fact that Peter Stormare's death is funny and justify. I just
And that's probably the weakest part of the movie, but I think
You think
it's
it's the weakest part of the movie? I think it's so much fun, dude.
I do. I enjoy it for what it is, but I think it kind of fell flat at the end. But with the whole laser and everything like that,
Oh
but
yeah, it's the yeah.
but in general, I think it's a fun movie.
It was solid enough. Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay, so now Romero ends his career tapping back into the dead world, right? So he kind of experienced, I guess you could kind of consider this a career high just because he was kind of in this weird like Hollywood hell. 5 years after Bruiser, we had Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, blew up in '04, and then it did well, so they handed Romero a stack of cash to make Land of the Dead, and it had a budget. And I remember the hype for this was real for horror fans. The hype
Oh yeah.
for this was very real. And even like you see the zombies, man. When you watch this now, this came out before Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But when Walking Dead premiered like a few years later, when you watch Land of the Dead now, I mean it's Greg Nicotero. It looks
He's
like The
great.
Walking Dead, but it looks like The
Yeah.
Walking Dead. It's like
Yeah.
he took everything he did on this movie and just translated it to Walking Dead because the zombies look like Walking Dead zombies.
Yeah.
And even like the animatronic zombies you see in this movie, they're totally like the ones on Walking Dead. Everything looks like, even the way it just looks like The Walking Dead. So now I watched it a certain way when it came out. I saw it a few times in theaters actually.
I do.
And and then now when you go forward and it's like years later we got into Walking Dead and we saw how that just turned to shit. Now you go back and watch Land of the Dead and it's also got a Walking Dead stink on it for me. It
Yep.
just feels like a Walking Dead stink too. I don't know. I kind of feel like they're kind of in tangent, but we've talked about Land of the Dead a lot. I think if I ignore the Walking Dead stink, I think it looks fine. I think it looks cool. The zombies look cool. Besides Big Daddy or whatever his name, he doesn't. Big is that his name? He
Yeah.
sucks. But other than that, the zombies look cool. I'm
They look
fine.
bland. They look bleak. John Leguizamo's awful in it. I know you're a
Oh,
big fan of him, but I think he's fucking
not a
Simon
big fan of.
Baker's
Not a big
terrible.
fan of his. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of his politics. But no, John Leguizamo's always been fine as an actor. I'm not really
I'd rather
against
watch
that.
him in the past. I mean, than this man.
We've talked about this. The acting, the Simon Baker's too pretty. He doesn't. He feel like he looks like a soap opera actor or something. He just doesn't. I don't believe him to be this lower class on the streets. He looks like somebody that should be living in the tower. You know what I mean? He's like
Yeah,
he's got this fucking like nice ass pea coat. His hair is
the
fucking
Valley.
moosed. His
Yeah.
hair's moosed. He's good looking. He's like a model type. There ain't no fucking way you're looking for a sandwich tonight, dude.
Mhm.
No fucking, because if this is supposed to be a social commentary like he does and it's reflective of society, what does society teach us? Good looking people, they get their fucking nut. So he would be shacking up with fucking some rich bitch if he really had no money. He would be in that fucking tower. Good looking people do not go hungry. So it takes you out of it. then the ugly guy in the movie you just fucking hate. Look at me. The fucking look at me. You can tell.
Charlie. Yeah.
Fucking annoying, dude. It's so annoying, but I don't know. I hate him. I really hate that character. Then you have what is Ozzy Argento?
Eugene Clark's Big Daddy. Yeah, I mean,
He's
all these characters. I mean, they're all hateable. I don't like.
Good.
Well, of course, Dennis Hopper is probably the only one I actually enjoy.
He's Dennis Hopper's Dennis Hopper. He's the same guy. Crazy. Yeah, but it kind of takes you out of it a little bit that you have Dennis Hopper and John Leguizamo, because the Dead movies have never had anybody of any kind of name in them like that. So it takes you out a little bit, but it also shows that he had a little bit more money to work with. I don't know. The movie.
Remember the tagline of the trailer? Zombies, they creep me out.
Zombies. They creep me out.
You heard that all the time.
I think it's so weird to hear them say and acknowledge zombies in a Romero movie.
Yeah.
It's just fucking odd, which they do again later. We'll get to that. They but yeah, I don't know. We've talked about this movie. It's kind of a clean looking Romero movie. I don't necessarily hate it. It's not offensive the way it looks. The characters are problematic. I think it's half a movie. I think it, if it had a second part to it, it might help it, because I feel like it's half a movie. I feel like it ends with them in Dead Reckoning and heading to Canada. I want to see it. It feels like you want to see them go. You want to see what. I just feel like it's very half baked and it's not finished. In fact, was it ever planned that they were going to have a part 2?
Yeah,
wasn't that like
maybe maybe not.
Was that on the books that they were going to? I could have swore that it was a thing that they were going to have a part 2. I mean, I might be just making that up myself, but I thought that was kind of the thing. And then obviously it bombed, and then he had to fucking make his direct-to-video trash.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just suffered. It suffered because of it, because it just felt unfinished to me. But regardless, it just didn't feel like a Romero thing. But what did we end up giving that, by the way? I don't absolutely hate the movie, but I don't like the,
let's look it up.
It's not hard to get through. Let me see. Some of these movies are hard to get through. Yeah, like it's mid. I gave it like a 5 out of.
I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 5 out of 10. So it's mid. I could get through it. The movie's 90 minutes. Like, it's not offensive. It's just I can get through it. I don't love it. It's just whatever. Eugene Clark probably is grateful, because he's like just rocking those conventions in his Big Daddy fucking. He had somebody. You could tell he had somebody. He outsourced it and had somebody make him a Big Daddy thing to put on his face, and it looks fake. To take pictures. He lives in that fucking jumpsuit.
Yeah.
He's always at the conventions in his fucking grease monkey jumpsuit.
Mm-hmm.
But and then Romero, he ends his career here, because it's like 2 years later. He must have got the fucking news quick. I often wonder, it was only 2 years between Land of the Dead and Dire of the Dead. If he just waited like one more year, Walking Dead was coming out. And Walking Dead was going to be all the fucking rage. I wonder if like he didn't make Dire of the Dead so quick. I wonder if they would have like came back to him, because I remember there was talks about like, I remember AMC when Walking Dead came out, the Frank Darabont thing, they had announced a Romero zombie show on AMC too. I don't remember if it's called like Empire of the Dead. It had some fucking but it was off the heels of Walking Dead, and AMC picked it up, and nothing ever happened to it. I don't know what the fuck happened to it.
Well, you know why Dire of the Dead came out. It was the whole found footage scene. I mean, you had Paranormal Activity, you had all that stuff. And then he wanted to strike where the iron was hot, which I don't blame him. I mean, I like found footage movies. And Dire of the Dead came out, and I mean, I don't know what you think about Dire of the Dead.
I think Dire of the Dead was a little early, because so to me, when Dire of the Dead came out, he was chasing Blair Witch, which was old hat. What's it called? Paranormal Activity reignited it, and that came out after. So
that
I felt
came out after
Paranormal Activity. I want to say came out in 2009. Look, I'll look it up right now. I'm pretty sure.
I thought he was chasing that.
Oh shit! It came out in 2007.
Yeah.
Okay, you might be right. I thought I fucking rented that shit.
He was chasing that because that was such a huge hit, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna throw this out."
Oh, hold on. We might both be right. Nope. It was released in the US in '09. It was in festivals and shit in late '07, and it took time for distribution to get it and stuff like that, but it wasn't out in the public. It didn't come out to theaters in '09, and that's when the found footage after a decade blew up again. So that has nothing to do with Dire of the Dead. So I remember when Dire of the Dead came out, I felt like he's a little late to this party because it had been a few years. It's like we were found footage is that's so fucking 1999 or whatever. But no, he was just early, dude. He was fucking early to the party again. He was late and early at the same time because 2 years later, Paranormal Activity was all the fucking rage. I knew it was.
I could have sworn there was
Nope,
more found
dude.
footage that came out before that.
I mean, big found footage. Like what kind of movies were blowing up? Like, no, I don't think so. It was
Blair Witch. You had Wreck was overseas.
the next big fucking revolution was Paranormal Activity.
Oh, he might have been.
Yeah, because it was kind of dead at that time. It's like, oh, this is kind of old. Like, why is he? At the time, you don't know Paranormal Activity's coming, so you think it's like, why he's a little late to the party. But now it's like he was just too early. So if he just would have fucking maybe waited a couple of years, maybe he would have gotten more interest. Because Paranormal Activity came out in theaters in '09. I knew it was '09 because I rented it when it came out to VHS before I went to fucking Scotland, which was in '09. So I knew it was '09. But regardless,
When did Cloverfield come out? Because that was like the
Cloverfield
height.
was Cloverfield's.
Oh, that was 08. This
Yeah,
came out in 07?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
So anyway, I think he was actually too early. So it makes you think when Paranormal Activity came out, especially more than Cloverfield, Paranormal Activity cost nothing to make. And it starred nobodies. It cost pennies. And they made millions upon millions upon millions. They made so much money on it. I think they might have had another Zack Snyder moment where they've been like, okay, you want some money for this, Romero? We'll give you a theatrical release. Because it's like, oh, it costs, you know what I mean? Like, we'll give you at least a theatrical push. We'll back you. Keep it under budget. I just felt like he kept missing these fucking cues on his shit. But anyway, Dire of the Dead. What are your thoughts on that? It's just kind of mid. It's not.
So hold on.
I don't have my. I kind of wish I still had my fucking DVD of that. Do you still have it?
I got it for like $3. I haven't opened it.
Oh, I used to have the big box.
I did too at one point.
With the fucking coffee table book inside of it. Don't show me that.
This is at the dollar store. What?
Don't show me that piece of shit. Survival, dude. They have the dollar store.
Oh yeah.
Is it DVD?
No, it's Blu-ray.
Oh, they're both Blu-ray. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think okay.
So this one I enjoyed more than I thought. Like I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it.
No, that's how I felt when I watched it when I first got it. Like I felt
I didn't rewatch it. I haven't seen it since.
So I feel just okay about it. I'm okay kind of placing it in the midsection. I remember at the time it was interesting. It's like, okay, we're doing something different, at least with this. But hey, let's have a great idea. Let's take that fucking military douche that was in that. Let's put him in another movie. Because that's the same guy, the same fucking asshole is in Survival. So yeah, I don't know. I remember thinking I remember Diary being okay. I'm sure I wouldn't love it, but I remember being fine. But
I'll watch it soon.
The biggest thing about Diary is I always think he just kind of fucking bad timing. I just think if he just would have waited, man, it was only two. Why such a short gap between films now at that point in his career? Because he was used to having bigger gaps than that. It's like, dude, fucking, you just waited. You waited no time after Land of the Dead. Just give it a little time, and he could have had.
So pumped up when Diary came out on straight to Blu-ray. I was like, or DVD. I was like, God, man, I can't wait to watch. Of course, Dimension Extremes. They came out with all all the things.
But
yeah.
then it also kind of feels weird because like I don't know. I kind of liked Land of the Dead when it was rumored to be. First of all, Land of the Dead had a couple of working titles. Dead Reckoning was one of them.
Yeah.
But the original title I saw for it was Twilight of the Dead.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that seemed like it fits. It fit the theme. We're going night, dawn.
I'm glad they didn't name it Twilight.
But that was before the Twilight books. So, aside from that,
I'm talking about. I'm glad they didn't kind of put it together with the other trilogy.
because it would have tainted the other trilogy
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
But wasn't the obvious thing? First of all, I think the obvious thing would have been Dusk of the Dead. And then Twilight's just another name for Dusk. But to me, Twilight doesn't fit the thing. But it's still the same thing. But yeah, then from there we went to Land. And then now we're doing Diary. To me, these movies just kind of feel like Night of the Living
sci-fi.
They feel like generic Night of the Living Dead knockoff movies by cheap directors. But it's the fucking Godfather directing them. Diary of the Dead, Survival of the Dead. It's just weird. And
It's just a cash grab. He's so old now, or it's like Carpenter. I mean, if Carpenter directs something now, which he has, he doesn't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, but Carpenter, the only thing he really did that really sucked major dick was The Ward, and that was a total director for hire job. He didn't write or he just fucking showed up and, told people where to point the camera. And other than that, his shorts he did for the Master of Horror are good. The shorts, I like Cigarette Burns. I like Pro-Life. They're both fun. So like I said, we could go about this all day long. I think Carpenter had a better streak about it. But to wrap it up, we get to talk about the creme de la creme, dude. Survival of the Dead. I was pushing this off towards the end. I had never seen Survival. When it came out, it just got shit on by my friends and everybody. I'm like, I have no desire. Like, this doesn't have any redeeming reviews out there. And I don't, it's not going to be good. I don't want to see my boy go out like that. Why? And so I just never wanted to watch it, man. I never bought it, never anything. And I watched it 2 nights ago. And I have to admit,
don't
no, it's fucking terrible. No, it's terrible. But I was expecting even worse, to be honest. No, it's bad. It's fucking terrible. I was literally expecting, like, for example, when everybody was always saying horse riding zombie, I always built up in my head what that was. I literally thought it was gonna be like a zombie who knew how to ride horseback and he was chasing his assailants. I thought it was gonna be more cheesier than it was. But it's terrible. No, it's bad. Don't get me wrong. No, it's a different kind of bad. It's very. You know what this feels like? I have to tell you. The whole time I was watching it, look at me when I'm talking to you. What kind of cop are you anyway? Look at me, Todd. This feels like a bad episode of Walking Dead. Doesn't it feel like a bad episode of Walking Dead?
I would take Walking Dead over this any day.
I said a bad episode of Walking Dead.
Even a bad episode.
Look, it feels like a bad episode of Walking Dead. You have these guys who are happening upon a new camp and they want to take over the camp, and then you have this fucking leader who's
Hatfields and McCoys, dude.
The Hatfields and McCoys. It's bad. It's really bad. And the movie is ugly. It's really ugly. It looks so cheap. At least with the found footage, he had a reason to be budget looking.
CGI is so bad.
The CGI is really bad. Look, you get CGI in the first 2 seconds when he what does he set the head on fire? Does he shoot it? I don't remember but it's right there. It's terrible. And I think if you're going to have CGI in your fucking movie, don't do it in the very fucking first scene. At least blow your wad early so you maybe at least capture interest.
I'm going to listen to this commentary and see what the hell he was thinking.
No, this is what I was talking about earlier. And this is the big note that I took. And by the way, what I said at the beginning, Todd was shaking his head at me. No, I'm just saying I imagined it being something different this whole time. I imagined, because everybody always told my friend from back home, he would always say, "Oh no, 2 words, horse riding zombie," and that's all I ever knew about it. And I'm like, and I thought it was gonna be super cheesy in the fact that the zombies were sentient and they're riding horses. I'm I thought it was gonna be really cartoony. And this is just bad. It's not so it's just different than what I thought it was going to be. I had no idea the Hatfields and McCoys.
You watched this towards the end, which you should have watched it with the actual Romero zombie films, because I think you would have graded it even lower.
What are you talking about? I graded it fucking low as
You're
shit.
you're probably grading it after you watched There Was Always Vanilla.
No, I didn't. I watched Vanilla after. But dude, what are you talking about? I rated this movie fucking low. It's terrible. I didn't give this a good movie. What did I rate this
Oh,
shit?
okay. I thought you were trying to make excuses for it.
No, it's like a fucking. I gave this movie I think I gave it like a 1.5. It's fucking
Oh, I
bad.
thought you gave it 5, dude. I'm sorry.
Oh what? No, this movie's fucking terrible.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
not good. But I'm just saying it was different than what I thought. I'd built up in my mind what it was gonna be. And in fact, I think maybe I would have liked it better if it was just off the wall batshit crazy. But no, it's just boring. It's boring. It's ugly. The CGI is terrible. The characters suck. The fucking that why did they give that fucking military guy that had a part in Diary a
Terrible.
role in this? He's like trying to build a universe now and have like the fact that this is his only movie where he had a character come back and it's too it's weird. He never done that before, and let's do it for this last two movies that are so amazing.
A
But
Bloody Good Time by
it
Time Out New York said that was a bloody good time.
it just feels like a really bad episode of Walking Dead, like a boring like fucking reject script from The Walking Dead. There's not a whole lot of meat on the bones. It's boring. The characters are boring. They have their governor, this fucking old fat ass fucking white guy. That's fucking terrible. There's no stakes, dude. Like these guys, at least if it was like a Walking Dead episode, there would have been like more of a war and a battle between the two camps, the Hatfields and McCoy. But there really wasn't. Like there was no real threat.
Both, yeah.
He took the girl hostage, but dude, like there wasn't even any kind of a bloodbath. And that the whole thing was like, oh, like a Walking Dead episode, we can teach them. We can teach them to my side of the fence is we can teach them to live with them. And one of them wants to kill him. And I'm like, but why do you want to? I'm sorry. I was like, I guess if I had to pick a team, I'm team old man that got exiled because it's like,
Hatfield, yeah.
why would you want to be with your fucking loved ones if they're not your loved ones?
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. So Romero again is trying to be deep on a philosophical level, but I really don't think there's an argument here. Who in their right mind would really be on the side of the McCoy here? Like, yeah, no, I can't let my dad or my baby, my child go. I'd rather keep him here on a horse going around fucking dead, and I can say hi to him. Like, what? Makes no sense. We have to teach him to eat animals. But by the way, is that the first time in a Romero that they ever ate animals? What, did they eat an animal in Land of the Dead?
Oh,
Or am I imagining things?
I don't remember.
Maybe I'm thinking of Walking Dead. I know in Walking Dead they ate animals and shit. So it's all getting muddled to me. But at the time, Walking Dead was already out, and by Walking Dead, we already saw zombies that were eating animals. So it's kind of like it just wasn't a very hot take for him to get philosophical now with like maybe we can train him to eat animals. Like I've seen a zombie eat an animal before. It's not that
990
impressive.
they were eating mice and shit, I think. But I don't know.
It's just I don't know. I just feel like it wasn't a very hot take. It wasn't very smart. It wasn't a smart thinking man's movie. I thought it's a no brainer. I don't know anybody in the world that would fucking not just want to put a bullet in all their heads. But a movie in concept of a people that built a commune on an island could have been cool, but this wasn't it. And I'm not even gonna. This is also a note I made on the movie. I can't even blame the budget on this. This is bad. You could have given this movie $50 million to make. It could have been. You could have had all the greats working on this movie, and the story was shit. It's just money wouldn't have saved it.
I think we need to do a commentary on it sometime.
I would do it. I would do it. It's not that long. At least it's got that going for it. I think it's probably like 90 minutes.
I might need to open it up one of these days.
Yeah, it's 90 minutes flat. So at least sometimes I tend to like score something a little bit higher if it was a piece of shit, but it at least had the kindness not to waste too much of my time. I will give like a generosity point.
Yeah.
I do that too. It's like, you know what, this is dog shit, but at least it didn't insult me by fucking staying longer than 90 minutes. But anyway, guys, we've ran really long tonight, but we were talking about Romero, talking about all this. So in my opinion, he has a super high and then he has some a couple of great movies underneath it, and then it's just kind of a lot of trickle down dog shit for me. It's not. He's a very inconsistent director,
He
but
is. Absolutely.
you can honestly, I'd almost argue he's kind of consistent in the fact that he's got more bad movies than he does good. But like I said, man, he's got more going for him than most directors could ever strive for. He's got night, he's got dawn, he's got day, and he's got
I think
show.
I think his peak beats Carpenter's peak. That's just my personal opinion.
I think we should do a showdown episode one time because we were kind of like talking and flirting with this idea. We were both talking about it privately about Carpenter versus Romero. And
Carpenter is far better movie.
We should have a showdown because I get it. Dawn of the Dead's it's a 10 out of 10, but in my opinion, man, Carpenter just has more fucking bangers.
He does.
Back to back. He wasn't a fluke. He had a streak.
He's consistent.
But yeah, it'll be it'd be a fun conversation. So we'll do that sometime, but we gotta hop out of here. Thank you guys for everybody joining. Make sure you guys please like the video, subscribe if you're new here, and if you want to donate to the cause, we got a Kickstarter. Not a Kickstarter. I'm tired, dude. You know what we got?
Yeah,
Patreon. Yeah. I'm trying to get that operation. We guys say some money. We got a Patreon. Buy a shirt, Teespring or Spring Now. I even thought about just making like anybody cared. I thought about making like Venmo and Cash App if people just want to do like off donations if you don't want to do it on a regular basis. But if not, just follow us and share us, guys. Robert Stack, RIP for life. All right, guys. Bye-bye.